we're back and we have a different type of role because we have girl gi going on today as Katie, the usual camera girl, is going up against Zach, the purple belt on the left. She immediately starts this role with a nice Russian tie into a takedown against Zach, but don't forget that if you want great gear, use my link in the description below to get awesome rash guards and other jiu-jitsu gear at a discount. Now, if you want to know how to flow roll or to roll better, this is an excellent role to watch because typically I think girls are much more controlled in their rolling. They're not trying to win nearly as much as men are, so Katie does an excellent job flowing with Zach, who's a great partner as well, and you can see a technical roll while still trying to get submissions done. Both purple belts here are trying to get inside control so they can work either the shrimp or their pass, but Katie's going to start it off strong by going for a quick knee slide, working into side control on Zach. Once she has passed the guard, she's trying to control his elbows because she'd like to set up an attack or she'd like to move into a better position. The better position that she has chosen is going to be mount, and she wants to accomplish this by sliding her knee across and putting a lot of pressure on Zach's neck. Unfortunately for her, Zach is doing a nice job controlling her leg and he's pushing it by with his arm, so she's going to have to resettle for side control. And side control is great, one of my favorite positions for pinning the opponent, but Zach's going to do a nifty job at escaping here. He brings one arm under and he's going under the belly, and then he's going to trap her other arm using the ghost escape to get out of here and land up in top front head control while also maintaining the same control he had to escape and use it for an attack. He's looking towards an arm and guillotine at this time. He wants to snap Katie down because we can't let her posture get too high, then he's going to sit back and attempt to do this choke. Now, the arm and guillotine is probably my favorite submission, so what is he doing wrong here and why it may be tough to do? His arm is way too deep for the choke. His right arm is too far across and it's going to make it really difficult to add a lot of pressure to the neck. However, the arm and guillotine, even if you can't choke them, is really great because it's hard for them to move. You have their arm trapped and you're always able to threaten taking their back, which is what Katie's big concern is from this position. For how deep Zach's arms are, he should immediately transition to the anaconda instead because it could be a much better attack. Instead, he's going to look for a hip bump first, then he can sweep Katie over so she's on her back, then he's going to transition to the anaconda. That's some good motion from Zach, but he's not done yet. He wants to try and separate her arm, and how you can do this is by using your legs. If you can trap their arm, they won't be able to have their shoulder extended, then you can apply a lot of pressure with the anaconda to get the choke and finish them. So Zach is able to choke the cam girl out, but that does not bode well for him because I'm going to remember that in our next roll. Now, for my question of the day, do you prefer the anaconda, the darce, or the guillotine? All these submissions flow really well together, so make sure to let me know in the comments below which one you prefer and why. Of course, my answer is the guillotine, but I really like the darce as well. I'm not the best with the anaconda, however. Katie was able to spin behind Zach and he's going for a roll, but he fails on this roll because it immediately gives Katie top side control and she's looking towards the gift wrap and she's working one of her favorite moves. Once she can get into this position, she starts setting up the gift wrap. She transitions right into a head and arm choke. It's a great transition by her, and now she's trying to look for the finish, but Zach has an answer of his own. He's trying to answer the phone so he can defend against this head and arm choke. Answering the phone is a temporary defense, but the better defense is to try and capture their leg, which is what Zach is attempting to do. He's shrimping across trying to grab the leg, and here are some tips on how you can finish the head and arm choke on top. Step 1, you want to make sure that your chest is low and you can sink it into them. Step 2, we can see here Katie's right arm. We want to pull that across with our other arm. And then step 3, we want to pinch our right elbow, if we were Katie, down into his carotid artery. This will give us a really tight choke for the head and arm if you're able to accomplish all these steps. Of course, doing it in the real world is a lot more difficult than it is just to listen to me tell you what to do. Now, she's not able to finish this, so she has to transition out of the choke, and she does this by following Zach up as he turns away. She can decide if she wants to work the turtle, front head, or if she'd like to push him back down. She could definitely get a belt choke here because we can see here that Zach's purple belt is wrapped all around his chest and his neck. If you just grab that sucker, you can give them a good old-fashioned hanging to get an awesome submission. What you should notice, however, is that Zach is trying to sit down the guard, but Katie's doing a nice job controlling his lapel, making it difficult for him to sit down. Seeing that this is a difficult task, instead Zach sits down and Katie easily passes into side control because she had control the entire way down, and now she's entering grinding mode. Grinding mode is when you want to win by attrition and position, and this is my favorite way to win. I don't know why, it's just so fun to beat down another person, and then you can start to smell blood like a shark and continue to win by going for these positions. But Zach's not going to be the minnow in this case, and he's going under the belly and is working the same escape that he did last time to Katie to escape the side control position. Katie's going to have to work on that defense because it worked twice on her in one roll. Now, I'm not sure about Zach's next technique, but he tries to roll over the back and he just kind of ends up in guard once again. Now, we haven't seen a lot of full guard work, so here's a treat for you. Once Zach's in full guard, he's immediately looking to use an arm drag to go towards the back, and this is a good drag, and he's able to start pulling Katie over, so this is a great back control take by Zach, but good timing by Katie. She was anticipating the back take and she rolled with him. Unfortunately, Zach was one step ahead, and he was able to capture the arm that she was using to escape back control, and now he's looking for a flower sweep. Once he can do the flower sweep, he just has to clear the leg, and then he can establish good top mount control at the end of this round. Now this brings us to the end, and if you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, thank you to my current viewers and patrons. I appreciate all of you. This was a good flow roll to watch if you want to get better at jiu-jitsu.